Heads up, body adventurers!
Welcome to Human Bubble Podcast, where Plato shares snacks with the weekend and Schopenhauer gets lost in a Spotify playlist. In our freaky studio where cats knocking things over.
We explore the chaos of being human through art, books, music, and philosophy, like a brainy fever dream with good lightnings. Strap in, it's weird, it's wise, and it's probably cheaper than therapy.
Winter, the season most people curse. The dark mornings, the biting cold, the endless commutes through frostbitten streets. They say it presses on the soul, that it breeds depression.
But isn't that the only one face of it? For some, winter is sanctuary, a pause, like in the myth of Demeter's encore. The world must wither, descend into sorrow, before it can awaken again. Winter is that necessary silence, that rehearsal for spring.
Yeah, exactly. And literature seems to know it well. Think of Thomas Mann with his snow as a threshold between life and feverish death. Or Tokarczuk, who treats winter as a curtain behind which the mind can wander, drift in band.
Exactly. Maybe the real exhaustion comes not from snow, but from summer. The blind blaze of sun and endless chatter of parties, the crowded places where peace is impossible. Winter strips all that away and lets us face ourselves.
So perhaps winter is not misery, but a gift, a reminder that stillness, even sorrow, has its own strange beauty. Well, Darkster, why this topic here and now in this time and space when it's still September?
Yeah, it's the start of September, right? But I mean, in some places, winter it's always already cold, right? We wanted to bring it to our dear listeners as an informative video, and it's for us as well, by the way, right?
Yeah, how to survive winter season. But actually,
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to talk about surviving. It's like I think there will be some few tips for you and our impression, our point of view. Why?
Exactly.
Why do some souls adore winter? Okay, let's begin from this point, from the backside, upside down, everything.
All right.
So, for the introvert, it's a heaven, I would say. A hush falls over the world, and no one dares insist on gatherings or noise. So, the season itself gives you permission to vanish into your cocoon. A
Oh, that's
corner with
true.
hot tea and a novel thick enough to last through the storms. And
Mm-hmm.
Darkster and dear listeners, there is
Yes.
a saying there is a saying, there is no bad weather, only ill suited clothing. But in Eastern Europe, winter is not a matter of fashion, it's a philosophy. Surprised? Well,
Yeah, of course.
yeah, it's philosophy, believe me. It's the sentient pause in the rhythm of life. Nature herself goes rigid, frozen in her own meditation. So we too are allowed to stop, to hold back, to gather our power for the first trembling beams of spring. Right?
That's true. That's true. Psychologically, one of the fascinating psychological reasons people tend to avoid going outside is like, in winter, how it impacts different personality types. So, well, introverts often find it a bit haven, a chance to enjoy their solitude, right, Nessie?
Yeah, I know that from my perspective, of
Mhm.
course.
Oh, for them it's amazing, and for extroverts is it's more like a hell.
Well, yeah,
and
they love
ex-
crowded places.
yeah, that's true. Like, they're just trapped because they got to go outside. This is they miss the social interaction, that socialization, I would say, and outdoor
Yeah,
activities.
socializing. Mm-hmm.
Yep, that makes them don't like it the winter, I believe. But they're missing a lot of things in winter. Going outside, working out, a lot of benefits, Nessie, a lot of benefits. Do you mind? Should
Really?
I just go on with the benefits of winter for you? I'm sure you will love that.
For me, maybe not, because I am convinced that winter is blessing, you know.
All right, let's
But
do it for
maybe
the sake
for
of listeners.
yeah, for some listeners, they are not convinced that winter is a great season.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, uh-huh. So here I go. Well, I personally wanted to talk about it because for people, basically, like, workout can significantly affect you so much if you're working out in winter. Firstly, consistency is the key. Without consistency, there's nothing. And I know you know it very well, Nessie, right? And apart from
Yes.
consistency,
Yes.
there is like, forcing yourself to get out of bed and working out in winter. Firstly, it boosts your energy. It's boosts your mood and energy when you're like, it's chilling outside and say it's chilly outside for that time. Going for the walk or the run can certainly feel like a challenge, but actually it helps release those endorphins and they feel wonderful. Second, increase in metabolism. I'm sure you know cold weather makes your body work harder and to stay warm because the human body temperature is much more warmer than animals. They're colder, right? So it's like our body burns more fat to keep us warm, which can significantly affect on what? Weight loss. Surprised? Now I know you know it. And it improves
No.
immune
No,
system,
I'm not,
Nancy.
but maybe listeners are. But I think they know. But we'll go ahead with some advantages of winter.
Yeah, maybe they know. Yeah. It improves immune system and one of the one things okay, I want to ask you one thing. Do you like to take cold showers in winter? Or you just one of the hot shower person?
Do I like cold showers? Are you kidding? How? Well, absolutely. Nothing says self-care like hypothermia.
I mean, not every day, but from time to time, like, this thing people avoid a lot, including me before when I wasn't aware of the benefits of cold showers. It's like
Mm-hmm.
cold shower, like, it improves your blood circulation, it reduces muscle stressness, increases alertness, and cold exposure can also enhance your resilience to stress and improve your skin and hair health. There's a lot of
Yeah,
benefits.
it's important. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I do that not every day, but from time to time because I love that really. This chilling feeling when you just have that water on
Yeah,
yourself.
chilling feeling. Thank you. But some people they don't like winter, and so
Yeah, I
You
know.
know why? You know
Yeah.
why? Because, most people curse the winter. They groan
Mm.
about the cold mornings when your car feels like an ice coffin and the darkness swallows both your commute to work and your return from it. So they
Mm.
tell you it's depressing, right?
Depressing,
But
yes.
yeah, I know it isn't that easy, but I say it depends on temperament, on the delicate gears of one's souls.
Yeah, makes
Well,
sense.
makes sense. So try again. Yeah, try again with advantages. I know. Sorry, it was a joke. Like I know cold showers are great, and but there is something else maybe about food.
Yep, there is. There is. There's like a little bit of it about food, but it really is important, really, right?
Yum, yum. Yeah.
Food. Who
So,
doesn't like food? Food. It's like
hmm
in winter, I personally would love to have something like a hot stew or a hot soup. It's like, it's there is nothing better than a soup and stew for winters. They'll
hmm
provide warmth and packed with a lot of nutrients. And it's like seasonal fruits. I'm not like, we're talking about from our country's perspective. Maybe you have some other fruits and vegetables in winter, but we have
hmm
amazing ones, carrots and
Yeah,
all those
actually
stuff.
none. Yeah, thank
Like
you.
I said.
Actually none. Everything is frozen.
So I'll leave that part for the listeners to have and tell us about what kind of vegetables and fruits are available in their country in winter season and
Yeah,
where
it's
they're
a little
from.
bit,
Yeah.
yeah, exaggerated, but we have, of course, apple and
Mm-hmm.
apples. Yeah, if we, yeah, somehow protect them. Yeah, we have, but it's not about that. When you can get from market some uh, imported things like fruit, they are not actually good. The best food is from tree, from bush, from ground directly. We can call it, like slow food,
Mm-hmm.
very good food. But yeah, winter is something what maybe is not like summer. So okay, I can admit that
Mm-hmm.
summer is good when you want to eat fresh fruit
True
like
that.
strawberries, raspberries. Yeah, I love that. But, mm, I
Yeah, tell me.
think like spring is more overwhelming, you know? Um,
Mm-hmm.
because winter is not just survival, it's a sanctuary. I mean, magical silence.
Oh, you
Some
hit
do
that.
not crave the sun to feel alive. In fact, yeah, they find relief in the early dark, in the 4 p.m. dimness, in the comfort of a world that withdraws into itself. And talking about spring, when April comes, inevitably, April
Yeah.
is the cruelest month, as Thomas Stearns Eliot named in the Wasteland. So personally, I shiver
Ah.
at that blind awakening of nature, that forced resurrection. So for me, hmm, yeah, it's not the stillness of winter that is unbearable.
Mm-hmm.
It's spring. It's spring that's
Spring.
impatient insistence of life. Yeah,
That's yeah, I see. I see that. I see that.
you see, yeah, I think that we should think positively about winter.
Yes, yes, we should. We should.
Bit more
I
positive, doctor, from your side? Yeah.
I I swear to God, if it was up to me, I would live in Antarctica. Okay, it's a bit exaggeration, but yeah, you understand my feeling. What I'm saying, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be a
Okay,
bit
so
extreme.
bodybuilding, hot soup, hot tea,
Hot,
and all the
there's hot
advantages.
beverages. It's like those herbal
Uh-huh.
trees, warm lemon water, and sometimes spiced hot chocolate can be both soothing and hydrating. In winter,
Mm-hmm.
I love hot
Yeah.
chocolates in winter. Do you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You know, I
Yeah.
even think like the winter is a little bit different than before. In the past we used to have much more snow than
Uh,
nowadays.
yeah.
Yeah, and I remember when I was a child and snow did not simply fall, it arrived like a kingdom. It built
Ah, God.
fences, crowned rooftops, and raised walls taller than I was.
Seriously?
Mm. Yes, the paths we carved with shovels became secret corridors, channels
Wow.
into another world, and the silence was
Mm.
heavy, cathedral like, as if even sound had frozen.
Hmm.
Can you imagine that?
I
Yeah.
am just lost in that imagination, really.
And listen, I,
Yes.
small, breathless, half afraid, half
Gosh,
enchanted, felt both prisoner and princess in that frozen empire.
a
Huge
prisoner in
snow
the
was not
princess.
just winter,
Hmm.
it was wonder itself, vast enough to make me believe that world had no end. So
Ah,
that's the magic of winter. Magical, mysterious snow. But only
wow.
if snow is all around and we are surrounded by this white, soft, gentle
Hmm.
cocoon.
I'm sure you can express that much more vividly than me.
Hmm?
One of the reasons why you don't see a lot of snow nowadays is because of global warming. Sadly, there's a lot of pollution, a lot of pollution which has caused this
Hmm.
time by time as
Yeah.
centuries passed. It's like this is the thing.
So yeah, it's about, you said about global warming, but I think everything lost the shape, lost the place, and everything is
Hmm.
upside down a little bit. Not
Yeah,
so much, but it goes with not good direction. So
yeah,
it was
that's true.
because of something, winter was invented because of something. Like we have this order, natural order, for example, in ancient myth. You mentioned in our intro about the matter and Korah. Yeah.
Yes, I
So
did.
by this myth, the matter and Korah embody the earth's cyclical breath,
Yeah.
and
Hmm.
spring blooms as joy and birth, while autumn recedes into sorrow and winter.
Ah,
Well, these old stories remind us seasons shape the soul as much as the soil.
exactly. That's true.
Exactly.
That's so true. Really.
Do you want me to provide some quotes about winter?
I would love that actually. Please go on because we all know those who listen to us, Nessie is a literate,
Hmm.
I would say. Go on, Nessie. Without a code, there is
So,
no podcast prep.
well, yeah. Well, in Olga Tokarczuk's Winter, I mean Winter in her books, like in Day, House of Day or House of Night. So Winter there morphs into a realm of slumbering souls, older characters who hibernate until spring's timid return. But we can say even that their silence is not empty but pregnant, steeped in borderlands and memory.
Hmm. That's true.
Next, yeah, yes,
Ah, that's true. Go on, Nessie.
in her other book, Primeval and Other Times, when the village sleeps through long, magical winters, time stretching, stars pausing, and archetypes stirring in the snow's hush. Well, but let's take a quote from Drive Your Plow Over the Bones of the Dead. There
Mm-hmm.
we Winter mornings are made of steel. They have a metallic taste and sharp edges. On a Wednesday in January, at 7 in the morning, it's plain to see that the world was not made for a man, and definitely not for his comfort or pleasure.
Wow, well, I can't agree with that.
Yeah?
I can't disagree with that. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Yeah.
So
Go
it's
on.
about being humble towards nature and accept everything
Has given to us.
what nature gives us.
Yeah, that's true. Should we always be
Even
grateful?
winter. Yeah, we don't appreciate winter season.
Nope.
Always
And
complain, always curse, about winter. But it is, as I said, the most beautiful
it's a
part
gift.
of the year.
Yeah, it's a gift.
In Thomas, it's a gift, of course. It's a gift. In Thomas Mann,
Mm-hmm.
Magic Mountain, we can read. But if they had no sun, they had snow, such masses of snow as Hans Castorp had never till now in all his life beheld. Well, and I have also a second passage from this
Go
book.
ahead, please.
Not directly snowy, but it evokes the desertion of time in the winter landscape. No, not of course at all. It's really all hocus pocus. The days lengthen in the winter time. Spring begins at the beginning of winter, and autumn at the beginning of summer. The brighter
Wow.
point turns out to be a moving point in a cycle. Eternity turns out to be not straight ahead, but merry-go-round. Yeah,
Well, well, well.
sure.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I see that. Gosh, indeed. Now they're precise now. Now, I've got a quote, but for
Okay, Darkster, I want to ask you.
mhm,
Maybe you have some recollections, I mean literary recollections.
literary recollections, I have a quote from Robert Frost.
Oh, really? This
Yeah,
one. Uh-huh.
exactly. He says the best way out is always through, and winters that through, teaching us to find beauty in bite. That's
Wow,
what he
very
said.
wise. Yeah,
What he
Robert
said.
Frost, yeah, he loves nature. Mm-hmm.
I know he does.
Wow. So, we were talking about introverts, and
Hmm.
I think like for them, winter is not a punishment, but a coronation, right?
Yeah,
That we can
exactly.
assume.
Of
So the
course.
season arrives like a velvet curtain falling, offering a perfect excuse to withdraw. Effortless
Hmm.
of blankets,
Hmm.
wow. A mug of tea and novelty enough to scare away the sun. Tell me,
Hmm.
Darkster, is it not
Yes.
paradise?
Did
Ah,
you hear what I
rhetorical
said?
question. Yeah,
A rhetorical question.
rhetorical.
Yeah, I would personally love to go in the coldest place in the world if I can stay alive there.
Yeah, Siberia, probably. And
Yeah, Siberia.
why not? Why not? And you were talking about those people who love summertime. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like I would say that everyone prizes summer as if they were a universal cure, like sunshine, beaches, laughter, endless
Mm-hmm.
social gatherings. But honestly, Darkster, um, Sometimes it feels like a conspiracy. Too much light,
Too
too
much
much
light, right?
noise.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's true.
people erupting everywhere like overripe fruit. And for me, summer is not joy. It's
Mm-mm-mm.
torment, resting
Torment,
place.
torture.
Some, yeah, misery even.
Hmm. I
Like
mean,
resting, of course, yeah. Okay, I love beautiful places like lakes, forests.
hmm
They are crowded. I prefer unbeaten tracks, you know?
yeah, I know, I know. You're
And
kind of person who loves
yeah,
nature, I know that.
so those resting places become festivals of chaos. And every corner colonized by crowds in loud shirts. So I confess I wilt under the glare. But yeah, maybe I'm strange.
No, I
Maybe,
don't think
perhaps
so.
I
I don't
prefer.
think
No,
so. No, not at all.
I think,
I,
yeah,
I.
I think there is much more people like me that they
Yeah, of
love
course.
winter.
Mhm. Yeah, I do.
People, where are you? Just drop your comments below the
Write the comments,
recording.
people. We'd love to see who loves winter and cold. And drop in your countries if you're comfortable with that. We'd love to know from which countries
Uh-huh.
we have viewers and our listeners.
Let's create like winter party maybe
Yeah, maybe.
sometime. I don't know
Sometime
somehow.
winter party.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But because, yeah, I think it's about solitude, like perhaps I prefer my solitude, the
Mm.
slow
I know.
silence of frost, the way snow can hush the world, where others see gloom, I see relief, where they treat the dark, I welcome reflection. Because without quiet, without a little winter in the soul, how else could we hear ourselves at all?
No, not at all. Where others see hell, you see paradise, right?
Mm-hmm.
Ah,
Yeah.
of course.
Yeah, I see. Of course. And I have a poem, and it's a poem. It's a
Ah, go
poem
ahead, please.
called "The Snowman" by Wallace Stevens.
Robert
And
Stevens.
some
Wow.
say like it's very, very simple, rhymes, even funny some way. But I
Hmm.
asked AI about this poem, and AI claims that there is a deeply philosophical poem. And maybe it is. For me, I can see. I will try to interpret a little bit. But let me
Please go
read it.
ahead.
Let,
Please, stage is
one
yours.
must have a. Oh, thank you. Da-dum, da-dum, da-dum. One must have a mind of winter to regard the frost and the boughs of the pine trees crusted with snow, and have been called a long time to behold the junipers shagged with ice, the spruces rough in the distant glitter on the January sun, and not to think of any misery in the sound of the wind, in the sound of a few leaves, which is the sound of the land, full of the same wind. This is blowing in the same bare place for the listener who listens in the snow, and nothing himself beholds nothing that is not there and the nothing it is. So if I can agree with I would say that
Hmm.
the first part, of course, this poem, link to this poem, we will drop below the recording
Yeah, we
and you can
will.
read it. Yeah, we
Exactly.
will. So you can interpret it as well. And maybe you think, dear listeners, that there is also some philosophical touch in this poem. Because, in my opinion, there is in the half of this poem, so the first part is like description is like
Hmm.
presenting the view trees and
Yeah.
this poor snowman. It's kind of about snowman. It's yeah, it's existential story, a
Yeah,
little bit mystical.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
You know
Hmm.
why?
Yeah.
Because his time, I mean, time of snowman is limited.
Ah, but
That's my existential touch.
yeah,
Yeah,
that makes
it's
sense.
limited. He's,
Limited.
about melting in
Yeah,
the
he has he has
sunbeams.
very little time. In that very little time, he makes a lot of people happy.
Yeah, exactly. And in the second part of this poem, there is this yeah, like winter loosens its grip. I mean, trees stretch like dancers, catching the sun as it swells bold, expanding, insistent.
Hmm.
The light spills over frost, brushing the edges of the world with something alive. Something alive.
Oh,
And then something quieter, deeper. A thought drifts. This thought is passing by, passing away, passing out. So life and death stitched together, an
wow.
unbroken line, a string held by an invisible cosmic hand, a secret order we feel but cannot name.
Hmm. Wow. Well, there's certainly
Okay,
life in those birds.
I would love to write some poem about winter, but I have
I
to.
would love that. Yes.
Yeah. And
Mhm.
so, winter remains a paradox, cursed and beloved, heavy yet liberating.
A season that freezes the world outside, only to throw something within.
Mhm. Maybe that's the secret gift. In its silence, we remember who we are.
That's true.
Ta-da!
Ta-da!
Ta-da! Ta-da!